morning, students. I hope you all are good. We all know that we are all home quarantined due to COVID 19, and that has affected our academics as well. But you don't have to worry because we have started online teaching, and that would, we are sure, help you to understand the important topics that we are going to cover. Today, we are going to start a poem that is My Mother at 66. This poem is taken from your textbook Flamingo. This poem is written by Kamala Das, a well-known Indian poet. Dear students, now the title of the poem itself is very interesting. My Mother at 66. It means we can speculate that the poet has written this poem when her mother reached at 66. This poem talks about a beautiful feeling that every one of us experiences every time. See, students, we all have a hidden fear of losing our parents. We all have a hidden fear of losing our relatives. And Kamala Das, being one of like us, she also experiences the same. And she has beautifully narrated this feeling in the form of this poem. So let us see what the poem has for us. This is how it goes. I request all of you to keep your textbook open. That is Flamingo. You can see it. It is the first poem of the textbook, right? So you all are requested to open it so that you can enhance the understanding of the poem. Let us start it. The poet says, driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. The poet had visited her parents in Cochin. Maybe on that particular Friday, she had her flight back to her place. And just to drop her at the airport, she was accompanied by her mother. So the poet says the same thing, that when she was going to airport, right, she was accompanied by her mother who was sitting just beside her. Then what did the poet see? Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. पोएट की जो माता जी थी वो उनकी बाजू में ही बैठी थी. पोएट ने देखा उनको, उन्होंने कुछ ऑब्जर्व किया. क्या किया? I saw my mother beside me. डोज का यहाँ पर मीनिंग है सो रही थी. She was sleeping. Open mouthed, मुंह उनका खुला था. Her face ashen like that of a corpse. Corpse का मीनिंग होता है dead body. Poet says that she observed her mother who was sitting just beside her on the way to airport. She observed that her mother had become pale. Her face had clear sign of approaching death. She also observed that her mother was sleeping, keeping her mouth open. And how was she looking like? She was looking like a corpse. कॉर्प्स का मीनिंग मैंने बताया डेड बॉडी, राइट. एशन का मीनिंग यहाँ पर होता है डल, यहाँ पर, राइट, क्योंकि उसकी मम्मी का चेहरा बहुत डल हो गया था और जैसे डेड बॉडी की तरह उसकी मम्मी उनकी जो मम्मी थी वो सो रही थी मुंह खुला रख के. आई होप यू आर क्लियर विद दिस. देन व्हाट हैपेंस, लेट अस सी. And realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. Poet says that when she observed her mother, she found that her mother had turned old. And this thought of parents turning old really scares the children, because parents are the one who have loved their children unconditionally. And that is why nobody wants to lose his or her parents. That's why, excuse me, that's why when the poet observed her mother, she found that she had turned old, and that had really scared the poet. And realized with pain, दुख उसको होता है उस बात को याद करके, रियलाइज करके उनकी मम्मी जो थी वो बूढ़ी हो गई थी. अब बुढ़ापा जो है, it's a sign of, it's an indication of an approaching end, right? But put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting. This thought of her mother turning old, the thought of her mother not with her, this thought really scares the poet, and that's why, to keep these thoughts away from her mind and to focus on what was going on, she decided not to look at her mother anymore. Then where did she look at, just to divert her attention? It is written, put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting. हम सबको पता है, जब हम कार में जाते हैं, कोई फास्ट गोइंग व्हीकल्स में जाते हैं, तो ट्रीज भी हमारे साथ साथ, लेकिन हमको लगता है कि वो पीछे की ओर जा रहे हैं, एकदम स्पीड में जा रहे हैं पीछे की ओर, राइट? तो पोएट कहते हैं कि उन्होंने वो थॉट, कौन सा थॉट? द थॉट ऑफ हर मदर गेटिंग ओल्ड, maybe the thought of losing her in coming years, or in the near future we can say, because her mother had already reached 66, right? So what she thought, she kept that thought away, it is written, and looked out at young trees sprinting. जैसे एकदम क्विकली पास हो रहे थे, ऐसा उन्होंने उन ट्रीज पर उनकी नजर गई, देखा उन्होंने, क्यों? ताकि वो अपने आप को इस थॉट से फ्री कर सके. कौन से थॉट से? कि उनकी मम्मी बूढ़ी हो गई. आई होप यू आर गेटिंग that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. Merry children means happy children, right? So the poet observed two things just to keep her mind away from the thought of losing her mother. What were those two things? First thing, that she looked at the trees passing by quickly, and she also observed the children coming out of their homes to play outside, right? But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her. Now here the poet says that when they reached airport, the formal regular checking was done. At that time, the poet again looked at her mother. It means looking outside at the trees, looking outside at the children coming out of their homes to play, all this did not help this poet to keep that thought away for a long time, right? क्योंकि तुरंत ही जैसे ही एयरपोर्ट वो पहुंचते, तुरंत ही वो थॉट फिर से उनके दिमाग में आ जाता कि ओ, मेरी मम्मी जो है, मेरी माँ जो है, वो बूढ़ी हो चुकी. It is possible that she would pass away very soon. Let me read these lines again. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, when pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that familiar ache. My childhood's fear. बहुत सुंदर तरीके से पोएट जो है वो ये बात बताती है हमको. क्या बात? कि जब एयरपोर्ट पर चेकिंग हो गया, पोएट ने फिर से अपनी मम्मी की ओर देखा और ऑब्जर्व किया कि उनकी मम्मी का चेहरा जो है वो एकदम डल हो गया, as if it had turned lifeless. ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे कि हाँ, ये मृतपाय हो चुकी है, शरीर में कोई जान ही नहीं है, ऐसा उन्होंने ऑब्जर्व किया. और कैसी लग रही थी उनकी? विंटर में, लेट विंटर में खिले हुए चांद की तरह. which is not clearly visible due to some foggy and misty atmosphere. Right? So, due to the old age, the person becomes weak. He or she starts showing the sign of approaching end. And this reminds the poet of her childhood's fear. What is that childhood's fear? खास करके छोटे बच्चे में 12 साल 15 साल 16 साल or we can say up to 18, children are dependent on their parents. Or on the other way, we can say that up to 18, children are very much attached to their parents. And that's why for them, their parents are the most valuable possessions one could ever have. इसीलिए वो अपने माँ बाप को बहुत प्यार करते हैं. तो बचपन में एक डर हमेशा होता है, खास करके इसलिए क्योंकि बच्चे उन पर पेरेंट्स पर ही डिपेंडेंट होते हैं. तो डर ये होता है कि इफ their parents are no more tomorrow, then what would happen? The future becomes dark, bleak, uncertain. Right? So, when after airport checking, when the poet looks at her mother again, she observed that her mother had become very pale. She was looking like late winter moon that was not visible due to fog and mist. It means here, due to the old age, it was quite clear that her mother was not as young, as energetic, as good looking as she was earlier. And it also reminds the poet of her childhood fear. Now, what is the childhood fear? As I just explained, that because our dependence is more on our parents when we are small children, right? When we are not grown up, we are more attached to them, and there is a constant fear of losing them, right? That is why it is written, a late winter's moon and felt that old familiar ache. Ache का meaning यहाँ पर again pain. कौन सा pain? My childhood's fear. बचपन में जो डर होता है उसकी बात पोएट्स करती है. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. पोएट थोड़े पॉजिटिव अप्रोच बता रहा है. पता ही है कि हर मदर हैड टर्न 66. She was looking very dull and pale. It again means that she might die in the near future. But फिर भी she is optimistic, she is hopeful, and like every other child, as I said, nobody wants to lose their parents and nobody even prays for that. So what at all she said was, see you soon, Amma. It means the poet is hopeful to see her mother alive for coming years. Right? My childhood's fear, but all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. पोएट बहुत ही उम्मीद रखते हैं कि मेरी मम्मी को कुछ नहीं होगा. और वो हंसते हंसते अपनी अम्मा को कहते हैं कि फिर मिलेंगे, see you soon, ऐसा वो कहते हैं. Right? The poet is optimistic, but at the same time, if we just keep away the last two lines from the poem, the rest of the lines talk about or it describes how she was attached with her mother, what kind of feeling she was going through when her mother was sitting beside her in the car, the observations that she made that really changed the mood of this poet. Even when they reached the airport after formal checking and all, she one more time observed her mother, and that fear attacked her mind one more time. That childhood fear of not losing parents. But anyhow, when mother has reached 66, obviously the poet would also be around 40, 45, 35. It means she has become mature. She has become wise enough to understand that life and death are going to come. But a wise man is always positive and hopeful. समझदार बंदा हमेशा पॉजिटिव रहता है, होपफुल रहता है. शायद इसीलिए ही पोएट एट लास्ट जस्ट सेज सी यू सून. इसका मतलब है फिर मिलने की उम्मीद जिंदा है, हम डेफिनेटली फिर से मिलेंगे, ऐसा पोएट जताते। आई होप यू ऑल आर क्लियर विद दिस। My dear students, if you have any doubts or any queries, they all would be entertained once the school reopens. By that time, use some of the time for reading books, some of the time for your academics, at the same time, some of the time for some exercise. Right? Stay physically fit, stay mentally fit. You are grown up enough to take good care of your parents as well. Be with them. This is the time where we can spend more time with everybody. So be happy, be at home, stay alert. Thank you. Jai Hind.